Good afternoon. Welcome to Spartanburg NAACP Educational Committee meeting. I want to thank the chairperson, Carolyn Reed Smith, for her hard work and for her leadership. And also want to thank the president of Spartanburg NAACP, Mr. Michael Brown, for his leadership. Uh, we're going to be brief this afternoon. We're going to talk about public education, talking about what's going on with our children. Some are doing very, very well. Some are doing okay, and some are doing not okay. And we're going to address that situation so we can answer the moral question. If children are not doing okay, should we and can we take responsibility for organizing this community and providing support and education for the parents so they can be more supportive and so they can support accurate achievement in their children? There's always been some kids left behind. There will always be some kids left behind. But in the situation that we have in this community, we want to decrease that number. We want to make sure that all of our children have an opportunity to have academic success, make sure that they have support they need, the resources they need, and more importantly, we want to make sure that they are in a community that they can see and hear all around them that we love them and that we have high expectations for them and that we value education. That's so important. We must take a stand and be visible and be working so our kids can witness our commitment to them and let them know that the expectation is that they do well, that they be law-abiding citizens, and that we're behind them all the way. All the churches, all the families, all the social organizations, uh, the Masons, the Greeks, every kind of nonprofit, business community. Everybody wants to have an educated workforce. To have an educated workforce, we must have kids that's experienced academic success in the schools. And so a lot of times we like to point fingers. It's time out for that. We must all come together, all the stakeholders, which includes the parents, the community, the organization, the nonprofit, the business community, the public school system. We're all in this together and we all must come together. I think what has happened in our community, from my experiences, I think we have fallen short as a community and as parents and as an organization in doing things that will let our children know how important it is that they get educated and that they go to school and be engaged learners, have appropriate behavior, and have a thirst for knowledge. And because that's going to be the number one thing that's going to influence their opportunities in the future is the education that they get now. So my name is Kenneth Favorite Myers Sr. I live enough to tell you the truth and I respect enough to give the facts. We're going to talk a little bit about the data. There's not, I don't like to talk a lot about the data because there's nothing new about it. Uh, we've been struggling as a community and we've been struggling as a nation to deal with inequality. Uh, we've come a long ways. We have a longer way to go, but we know that our kids are not performing as well as they should. We share in accepting that blame, so that's why we're having this presentation today. It's no surprise. Everybody knows that there's an achievement gap, there's an instructional gap. Uh, the No Child Left Behind, some folks agree with it, some folks disagree with it. But I support it for several reasons. One reason was transparency. The other reason was the federal government held states accountable for improving, educating folks, particularly black kids, to increasing the percentage of kids who are proficient uh, in science, social studies, math, reading, that type of thing. And as of December 2015, we have a new education law. It's called ESA, each student succeed act. There's folks that agree with that and there are folks that disagree with it. Um, I, it's law now, so I think we have to accept it. But I think we need to be careful because one of the things that this new law has done, it has taken the oversight away from the federal government and put it back in the hands of the states. So this issue about state rights, before No Child Left Behind, the states, and particularly South Carolina, did not do a good job of educating black children. It continues today. Well, we made some improvements and we need to celebrate that. but there's a lot of work to do. And so that's why we're having this discussion today. And we want to be objective, but we want to be, I think what we should take away from this is that we must plan, we must organize, and we must hold ourselves accountable and hold the other stakeholders accountable as we move forward and do the work to make sure our kids have opportunity for academic success and in this community. So before I go, I'd like to also invite you to join me every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on 1530 a.m. WASC is a radio show where I talk about everything from politics to race to economics, prison, drugs, teen pregnancy, AIDS, everything that's going on in our community. And also I'd like to share with you, I'm going to give you a flyer as well, the Rural Initiatives Foundation Incorporated, where we write grants through state housing. We repair low-income homeowners' housing. We take care of their home repairs. If you need a roof, be replaced, you need a heat and air unit, we do that as well. If your windows are broken out and have some issues with your bathroom or your kitchen, that type of thing, we stand willing and able to serve those housing needs. So sit back and relax and take some notes and let's have some fun and let's be honest and have a dialogue about what's good for our children. And so I'm your host, Kenneth Myers Sr. I'm your presenter tonight, but I love you enough to tell you the truth and I respect you enough to give you the facts.